are live. We are live. We are here for our Tuesday night trucking collab. We got me, Auntie Kameel with Rig on Wheels. We have, and y'all go.
Go ahead, Miss LaShawn.
I'm Miss LaShawn with We Are Business Solutions.
And I am Miss Jerri with Life on the Road Recruiting and Transportation Services.
Yes, and later we should be joined by Rock with it, which is our small fleet owner, which is transitioned or has transitioned from being a company driver and now is just basically doing his fleet. So I kind of want to jump in here because Miss LaShawn is not able to be on here for a long time. She has another meeting to go to. So I definitely want to get you to talk about, because I know you wanted to talk about LLC versus S-Corp. Well, basically, let me back up. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday as industry leaders in truck driving. We have over 30 years collective experience in truck driving. So we do this every Tuesday or Thursday around this time, typically a little better because Jerri handles a lot of the stuff. But I'm not as good with the technology, but you know, we all here together. Okay, let's just say that. But we get together every Tuesday and Thursday with different topics that have come up during the week. So we can talk about it, and we try to join together where there's something that really stood out and happened today or just during the week, so we can bring it, talk about it, discuss it, argue about it. And if you all have YouTube or Facebook, definitely comment and all of that. But I'm going to hand it over to Ms. LaShawn so she can discuss LLC versus S-Corp and bring it all in when it comes to truck driving, because she is our DOT and compliance guru. Okay, so she keep us out of jail. That's what Jerri and I say all the time. Okay, thanks, Ms. LaShawn.
All right, so we want to talk about the LLCs and the S-Corp. And I think there's a big misconception with the LLCs and the S-Corp. So one thing I want to tell you is that the LLC is a business structure, which is governed by the state. Your S-Corp is governed by the IRS. And again, it's a tax election. It's not a business structure. One of the other things is that the IRS has 4 different types of businesses. Well, they classify businesses in 4 different categories. A sole proprietorship, which is a one-member person business. You have your partnership that has 2 or more people. You have your C-Corp and you have your S-Corp. And with your S-Corp, you can have up to 100 shareholders with a, well, let me just leave that like that. So those are your 4 groups for the IRS. Okay, let me get over here because I got to look at my notes because we got a lot to talk about in a few minutes.
Okay.
So let's talk about the sole proprietorship. Your sole proprietorship is going to be reported on your business return. And it's just like you're paying personal income tax on your company's profit, which means when you make a profit, then you're going to pay self-employment taxes on that profit. You're going to pay 12.4% on your Social Security and 2.9% for Medicare on that profit now, on that profit. Your LLC can be taxed as an S-Corp as well. By default, you're going to be taxed as a sole proprietor unless you elect to be taxed as an S-Corp. As an S-Corp, what you have to remember is that you have to get a salary. The IRS requires you to have a salary. Your salary then becomes a business expense. Not only does the salary become a business expense, but then you have business profits that are reported on your personal tax return. So again, your salary is going to be an expense, but then your profits are going to be reported on your personal tax return. Let's talk a little bit about the C-Corp. The C-Corp is filed as a corporate tax return. and the owner's income is distributed on a W-2. And the corporate tax, the C-Corp taxes, are corporate level profits that's made. So how do we relate this to trucking? If you're a sole proprietor, then all your income is going to be reported on a Schedule C. That Schedule C profit or loss is then going to be reported on your personal tax return. If you have a profit, like I said earlier, you're going to pay self-employment taxes. And the self-employment taxes is a 12.5, and I forgot the total that I just told you. The 12.4 and the 2.9, that's going to be paid on the profit. 1 second, y'all. I got my cheat sheet here.
No, we're here because there's some information, because we always just talk about LLCs.
Right.
But there's other entities that we need to know about, especially depending on how you want your business.
Right. Now, the majority of companies are going to do an LLC because, again, that's your structure. You
Right.
can do a corporation. But again, when it comes down to the taxing, then that's when it's different. And I'm going to say this and then I'm going to jump off real quick. But one thing I did want to make sure that you knew is that you don't really want to do an S-Corp until you're about $60,000, making about $60,000. Why? Because you have to pay yourself a salary. That salary has to be in line with what the IRS considers a salary for that industry. So you can't say I'm a trucker and I'm gonna pay myself $1,000 a week if that's not what the market is paying. You have to pay according to what the IRS says that the market is paying. What else did I want to say about that? So again,
And those are,
huh?
no, I was going to ask you real quick, like the S-Corp, like you have to make that designation. Like, is there a certain time frame you have to make that designation, or whether you're going to be an S-Corp or the C-Corp?
Well, you can make that designation. They have a time limit. Like if you want to change it from not an LLC, if you want to change it from a sole proprietorship to an S-Corp, there is a form 2253 that you would use to change it to an S-Corp. So if you're going to change it, say this year, and I don't remember the time period, but you do have a certain period of time at the beginning of the year to change it if you're going to use that tax election for this year.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's the little bit that I have to tell y'all tonight. Any questions about that?
No, I mean, I'm glad you explained that. No, what I'm really glad you explained is the fact that it needs to go with the IRS dean.
Right.
So that makes sense why we fall back on LLCs more.
Right.
And then I'll talk a little bit more about it, because with the S-Corp, there are certain things that you have to do on an annual basis. Like you have to have a board meeting. You have certain documents that you have to file with the state. So you have about 3 or 4 different things that you have to do that's different than the LLC. The LLC is just going to require you to report your business filings on an annual basis. That's all you have to do with the LLC. Just making sure that everything about your business is the same with the state and nothing needs to be updated. Some states like Mississippi don't charge to update that information, but like the state of Tennessee, they charge a whole $300 every year to update your information with the state. Yes. So. All right, ladies, I'm going to jump off here because I was supposed to be on another call at 8 o'clock. And I know they've started, so I'm going to jump off here. And if I finish, I'll jump back on.
Okay, thanks.
All right, see y'all later. You're welcome.
We should have our small fleet owner joining. It just kind of depends. I know he was dealing with the issue earlier, and that's just kind of the way it is when you are a fleet owner. So I wanted him to go through and talk about, the transition that he's going through and everything. First, let me say, hey, Mr. Tyrone, and we are doing great and glad that you are having a blessed evening as well. Okay. Okay. So, Jerri, I know you wanted to talk about contingency plans when it came to owners and all that type of stuff.
Yes, yes, but
I wanted to
can
have.
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good. I just kind of wanted to have a dialogue because I know we're on the same, page when it comes to that.
Right. I think I'm frozen though.
Nope,
Am
you're
I?
not frozen.
Nope.
Hey,
Okay.
Miss Leonard.
Leonard talking to Leonard from Cali Rackham.
Yes.
Hey, Leonard, thank you for always tuning in. Leonard actually reached out to us earlier today just to kind of say hi, and he was always enjoying the shows and the lives, and thank you for tuning in, Leonard.
Okay, so Jerri, I know that you wanted to talk about contingency plans and things like that when it comes to the owner. So are you speaking of small fleets? Okay, so y'all only looking at me right now. I don't know what happened to her. So my question to her was going to be, are you only talking about small fleets, medium-sized fleets, or mega fleets? Okay, there we go.
Look, I don't know what I'm out here in the country.
Yeah.
You know I'm out here in the country, and I'm not. Look, so I to all our viewers that are watching. So my son plays basketball, and I am the concession stand. The lady that's in charge of the concession stand, get it going over there and popping and stuff. But I came out to the car so that I can, join the team and chat with everybody. But there was one thing that I really wanted to share tonight, and that was the contingency plan. So, and it's specifically for your small fleet owner. So okay. It's imperative that you have some type of contingency plan in place. So my background is in corporate America. My background was always operations management. I managed a team, and in my last corporate life, I managed a team of over 50 at some point. Sometimes I had 40, sometimes I had 50, but it was operations management. And so we always, for our clients, we always had a plan A, B, C, D, E, and F in place whenever anything, went wrong, because the clientele that we were dealing with, it was your Fortune 500 companies. It was your celebrities, your heads of state. We needed to ensure we couldn't, something couldn't go wrong, and we couldn't be like, hey, I'm sorry that they happened. We had to be able to give them contingencies because they have $1 million equipment that's out there that needs to be moved. They have, plans. They paid us to ensure that, we think of everything that they need before they even need it. And so as a small fleet owner, those are things, and those are systems, one, and those are people, two, that you have in place, so that in the event, something falls through the cracks or something doesn't go exactly the way that you had anticipated, that you've got those systems and those people and those measures in place to ensure that. And so in trucking, I correlate that to trucking by saying that when you have, for example, let's take a breakdown. Let's take, that truck that you have out there, that is a, $50, $60, $80, $90,000 machine that you have out there. But with all machines, they're faulty at sometimes. There's a maintenance issue or something of that nature that's going to happen. So not only is your machine, if your machine breaks down, not only is your machine down, but your operation is down, your driver is down, and Your driver is the face of your company. So if he's down, that means he is not making any money. And the majority of the times, our drivers, and let's just be real, our drivers are living paycheck to paycheck a lot of times. And so in living paycheck to paycheck, you cannot afford for your main, source of income to go down.
Employer.
And when that happens, without a plan in place, you might lose a driver. And I talked to 2 drivers today, and one of them told me that his truck broke down 2 weeks ago. He waiting on the owner to fix the truck. And in the meantime, baby, guess what? Miss Jerri come in there and scoop his ass up and get him another good job, because you don't have a contingency plan in place. You don't have something ready for that driver in the event that something happens. And that's why it's so easy for a recruiter like myself or Kameel that, as much as, he want to stick it out with you, he look, rent is due on the 1st. It's knocking at the door, and he has to be able to pay it. And so without those systems in place, let me tell you something, without those systems in place, your operation cannot thrive. And so you, with the 1 truck or the 2 truck or the 3 truck, you cannot thrive. And Kameel, and I always tell owners, if you got enough money to get 2 trucks, you got enough money to go get 3 trucks and have that 3rd truck sitting at the yard waiting for something to happen to the other 2. So all you got to do is swoop up, have that driver catch a flight, a rental or something to get in that 3rd truck so that they can keep moving. Your operation can keep going. Money can keep flowing in, because that's the name of the game. If money is not flowing in, you're not making any money. And so a good contingency plan out. Now, I want all these small fleet owners to be out here, to be listening to this contingency plan, okay? Now, your truck, I'm just going to keep using the truck breakdown example, because I got some other situations that I could share, but I'm going to stick with the truck breakdown.
This is the most common right here. It's going to be
right. This is the most common. And I told Kameel about this one because I dealt with it twice today. That one driver who I scooped up because he's still waiting on his owner to call
3
him.
times today. 3.
Wow.
One day we've had it 5 times between both.
5 times with small fleet owners. And that's why we'll get into what the big boys do. But if you want to play with these big boys, if you want to run your operation and act like these big boys, you better have something in place, because I'm going to come in and I'm going to scoop your driver up, your good qualified driver, and I'm going to go taking him, your good driver, and I'm going to go get him a good job where he ain't got to worry about being broke down on side the road. He going to have a backup plan, because that big company that he worked for got a backup plan. And so here's your backup plan, all right? And you need to be sitting down, writing this down, taking some notes, okay? When your truck break down, you got roadside assistance. You better make sure you got roadside assistance on that insurance. A lot of y'all got Progressive. Progressive will give you roadside assistance for a little bit of nothing. Don't be trying to, just because you pay $19,000, $20,000 a year on your insurance, don't be trying to leave out that roadside assistance, okay? Make sure you have a good some type of roadside assistance plan. And while that roadside assistance plan is being worked out, you need to also have something in place with and I'm going to drop some big names, okay? Ryder, Penske, Ideal Lease, all of these other rental places that's out here. Yes, where you can go and you can call them up and say, hey, I need to rent a tractor. I need to rent a tractor so I can keep my operation going. They'll let you rent a tractor short term, 3 days, 5 days, 4 weeks, however long you need it. They'll let you rent the tractor. But don't be cheap and don't have no plan in place where you can't keep your driver moving after the truck breaks down, because it's not a matter of if it's going to break down, it's a matter of when it's going to break down, because it's going to break down. Because these tractors, I saw somebody with a, look, who is Tyrone? Let me tell you something, Tyrone, you know You done been on side the road with a truck broke down, so you already know. So make sure that you have a contingency plan in place. And I ain't gonna give you all the good side plans that we have for our small fleet owners. But not only if your truck breaks down or if your driver leave your truck on the side of the road, do you have a floater driver that will go pick your truck up and say, hey, you know what? I'm fixing to run the next 2 to 3 weeks while you find a permanent solution for you. So that's just a piece. That's just a piece. But a contingency plan, if you want to be and hang with the big boys, you better be able to have systems in place that the big boys have in place. And that's a fact. Y'all better go write that down and send it home to your mama, because them all facts.
So, Mr. Lennon, remember that good bad cop thing you was talking about? And then switched up tonight. She is on fire, so I'm the good person today.
Baby, and I ain't even had wine tonight, okay?
So I have, but she has not. What I want to, Jerri is speaking so much to what we talk about all the time. So we get small fleet owners, right, that call us. I love working with small fleet owners.
Yes, absolutely.
However, let's talk about this. It takes me more time to recruit your driver because I want to make sure it fits in with a certain type of culture, because you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 of them, right? So you're not one of the mega boys where the culture is a little bit different, okay? So I preach this all the time. One of my biggest questions is, so when that truck breaks down, what's your plan? You don't have to have the most thought out plan ever. I'm definitely here to help that. I have a team that's going to be here to help put everything back together. That's the thing. You saw Miss LaShawn, she your DOT compliance, okay? So we are from A to Z, want to keep you on the road, okay? However, if you tell me your contingency plan is you got a good mechanic,
baby,
that shit ain't gonna work. So while your truck is at that mechanic, what's gonna happen to my driver? I tell people, I've been talking about this. Thank you. I've been talking about this for so much, about how I've been doing this for so long and I have a passion for it. So I got a passion with my companies, but these drivers, I really got a passion for, because they're depending on you as the fleet owner, just like they do the big companies, US Express, Schneider, all that. They're dependent on you to give them some money and that they earn. So if your only plan is to have a good mechanic, we all got a good mechanic, but if your truck is down, let's back up. If my car is over there at Christian Brothers all day getting automotive stuff done, right? I know that my son can take me back and forth to the office. I also know that I have Uber, and I also know that I can go to Budget Rent-A-Car and go get me a car, right? So it needs to be the same type of thought pattern. You don't have to know everything. That's the reason why we're here for hire, to help you. But like Jerri said, if you want to jump in the game with the big daddies, okay? And I'm saying this because we own most of my live and stream, so majority of these people know my personality. But if you want to jump in the pool with the big daddies, you got to do what big daddies do, okay? That means you got to have enough money right here so you can do stuff and pay your drivers. And if your driver living paycheck to paycheck, you as the business owner can't do that if you have employees. That does not work. It just doesn't work. So if your competition as a small, I think today is Tuesday, I've said this 10 times, and it's only Tuesday. If you're a small fleet owner and your name is ABC Trucking and you got 2 trucks, your competition is not DCF owner that got 4 trucks. Your competition is US Express, Schneider, Quality, Carriers. These are your competition. CRST Group. Everybody has different reps, bad reputation, good reputation, all of that. But let me tell you what those companies do have. They have a team. They have a team of HR professionals.
Yeah.
They have a team that's what we do. They have a team of operations management. They have all of these things. No, you do not have millions of dollars a year to pay all of those teams, but you can get that in Jerri, Vaughn, and I. And I think we just getting so riled up because it's only Tuesday.
It's only Tuesday, and we done deal with so much bullshit on a Tuesday.
I didn't drink a whole bottle of wine. It's only Tuesday.
And that's why I love the fact, baby, that I work for my damn self, okay? It's only Tuesday, and I can drink a whole bottle of wine if I want to, okay?
And I was like, this is just, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. When you come to us and want us to help, we want to be there. We love drivers. We love doing this. We have so many years experience, but we're not just saying that to brag. We have these years experience because we're so passionate about this industry. Y'all bring me my Amazon. I get Amazon delivered 7 days a week. And those are facts. But we have to get certain things in order. We can't complain about all these damn rules that the DOT and everybody else is putting down on our industry if we're not acting like we want things to be right. That's period. We can't do that. So I want you to call us, ask our opinion, hire us, so we can help put things into place so you're not losing drivers with 20 years experience. I saw a live on Instagram where this guy 30 years experience. Let me tell you what a 30-year experienced driver can do. He can do anything. There's nothing under the sun in trucking that he don't know from one side of the fence to the other. This man said he would never work for a small owner because they're going to mess up your record and they're going to mess up your money. I don't believe that to be so. However, what I do know is we have to all just work together and get it together. And I don't know why it's so hard to know that you need to hire professionals for certain things. You know what I mean? It just, to me, it just makes sense. I don't understand. Do I know taxes?
Too much? It's just too much like right. It's just too much like right. That's why I look at it.
All my taxes. Miss Vila do my taxes.
Miss Vila do my taxes too.
Yeah.
Vila do my taxes and all my family and friends' taxes. I done put everybody on the Vila, okay? And if you want Vila, text me. You got my number right there. I'll tell you how to get with Vila.
The DOT, we both, Jerri, Vaughn, and I both know DOT compliance. However, when you setting up your company, we're going to send you to the expert, and that's Miss LaShawn. Why? Because she's going to keep your truck rolling, keep your ass out of jail. Those are facts.
You don't have no violations, nothing.
All of that. So not only are we trying to love on our small fleets, we're also trying to love on our drivers. So Shane, I'm sorry I pronounced your name wrong. That's just what I do. I'm so sorry. I have a question. I want to own a fleet of trucks and I want to expand. What is a good percentage to pay a driver to make sure he's good and okay, not living paycheck to paycheck? Okay,
that's a great question. That's a great question.
So part of it, let's back up a little bit. Some part of the living paycheck to paycheck has to be on our personal responsibility as employees or workers or 1099 contractors. Okay.
Yeah.
So you as a fleet owner or an employee, you have to pay them a good living wage, but do know that a lot of that responsibility is on us as well. Okay. So it's on my driver to make sure he's keeping his damn record, his MVR clean, things like that. He's biding his time in the industry so he can understand and not making ridiculous decisions with his life. But typically, the average when you talk about percentages is 25 to 30% is what an average is, and you can go from there. But when a fleet owner says, I say, well, how much are you going to pay your driver? Well, you put it on my driver request form and you say 25%. 25% of what? Why I say that is because what's your average that you're paying? Billy Bob cannot go home and tell his wife that he's making 25% because as a woman, I'm going to say 25% of what? Is it 25% of $1,000 or 25% of 10,000? But if we're just speaking percentages, I would say 25 to 30% is a good industry range, especially when you're dealing with, your drive, things like that. Is what we know. Okay, so
and I have I want to piggyback on what you just said because I just talked to my small fleet owner who I'm hiring some drivers for her, and that was part of the conversation that we had in regards to her operation. And one thing, Shine 20, that you need to make sure that you decide as a company, as an organization, because I've seen it on both ends. I think on the latter, what I'm about to explain, the driver kind of gets the short end of the stick. But I mean, it just depends on how your operation is ran. But she is telling me that her 25% is off of the top. Okay. And that's what you need to, that's good. That's very good. She said, I will show, and look, I am looking for a driver for this owner still. So if you like what I'm talking about and you want to run for this owner, hit me up. So basically what she says is she pays 25% of the load, and it's the driver will see the rate card. So the driver sees what the owner makes. They see what that particular load is. So it ain't no guessing. She said you can pay your bills off of what you see on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. 25% of that, because it's not going to change. I'm not going to go and I'm not going to take the fuel out and take this out and take that out. I like to hear an owner say that. And have drivers that talk to me and back it up that that's what she does. And so, maybe 25% is what the industry standard is starting out, depending on the experience, but 25% is different to different people. So you need to make sure you understand where that 25% off is going to come from, the top of the load, from the rate card, like coming out the shipper, what they paying, or is it going to come off of what you get after all your expenses and stuff like that is taken out of? So drivers, ask that question. What do 25% look like? Is it coming off the top? Am I going to get to see the rate card? Am I going to get to see what you making? So I can calculate my 25%, and that's real right there. She was real,
right? Because the thing about it is, if the driver ain't gonna ask, Kameel is gonna ask. That, and Mr. Leonard, he been in trucking since before BC, and he's
yes, he has.
Miss LaShawn is jumping back on with us.
Hey, LaShawn. Look, baby, Miss Jerri done got up in it today.
She up here acting like me. Blessed. She acted up. She acted like me. I wasn't ready.
She wasn't ready.
Mr. Leonard said the same thing. He's echoing. You start off at 25 and you go from there. But what I want to say right now, Cheyenne, the fact that you asking this question makes me emotional in such a great way, because that means you want to do right.
The right thing, right?
That's
Right.
the thing. And I think so many times we as in people of the universe end up highlighting people that are coming out in this industry because they know it's money to be made. It's a very dirty industry. So they coming out to be grimy and shit, you know. But you are intentionally wanting to do good. That the universe
That say a lot.
will bless you, because and I mean that. That is the reason why we do these type of things, expect not just for the drivers, but for the small fleet owners. Because Jerri Bonnie and I tell you, it takes us a lot more time to recruit drivers for small fleets than it does for our mega fleets. But what the fact that we know how lightweight operations work at these mega fleets, we're able to mirror a lot of things and bring those to you at a great cost. But you have to invest in your company. You know, good drivers stay with good fleet owners.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we put good drivers with good fleet owners, because at the end of the day, this is the way I look at it. At the end of the day, I am a mother, a wife, a sister. Those are my family members. And my drivers will tell you, they still call me regularly. I got Tyrone on the live watching with us, and I've been working with Tyrone for months. Josh calls me at least. Look, we were just texting today. He like my other son. That is literally my other son. But these, and Josh, if you watching, hey, but these are like something we talked about earlier this week with our recruiter from one of the mega companies. And all she said, the one thing she said was that we got to treat them like they people too. And that's what, like that struck a chord with me, because that was part of my reason, not all of it, but that was part of my reason for leaving corporate, because I felt like at some point we had gotten to where we were no longer treating people like they were people. And we were treating them like they were just a warm body that we needed to fill a seat. We need to get some stuff done. And my morals and my values and the way I was raised won't let me compromise in treating people any other way.
Yep.
And when you treat people like they people, that driver is gonna go to the ends of the earth. Let me preach. Hold on. When you treat somebody like they are people, like they have a family, like they have a life outside of your company, one, they're gonna go to the ends of the earth for you. And don't add that you're gonna help them grow and help them build and help them get a new truck or whatever it is that you help them out with. They're not only going to help your company, but they're going to train their own replacement. And you won't need to call me or Kameel, because you've done your due diligence in taking care of that driver and thinking about them more than just as a driver. And so when you do those things, you get tenfold what you put out there. And that's just in life. I tell my children that all the time. What you put out there is exactly what you're going to get, good or bad.
And I agree with you, Jerri, because even in my business, I had my drivers just to say that they think that I treat them like family, and that's what they want. And they want to just be, they want you almost not like to treat them like that they're your kids, but they want that, gentle touch. And really, all of my business has come from referrals. I've gotten a very small percentage from other resources, but I can say almost 85% of my business has come from referrals. Well, that must mean that I'm doing something right for somebody.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
That says a lot.
Yeah, I think Wynn said a whole mouthful, and I know it's only I know it's only Tuesday, but we have seen a lot in these few days. I had a driver that is now just another example. He is literally driving from Tampa, Florida, on his way to Atlanta. I got him approved today. He's on his way to Atlanta for his orientation tomorrow. Okay.
Wow.
He was with a car hauler that he had been with. Cheyenne said, 20 said, call me Alphonse. Okay. Thank you. That'll help us a lot. But
Alphonse, yes. And hey, I saw you want to get that info for that owner.
So this guy he got some nice experience. Okay. So right now, of course, there was no time for them to do a bus and everything because he got approved today for orientation. So he is driving from Tampa to go to Atlanta for this 2 to 3 orientation. Why? Let's talk about this. One company, he said the guy was nice and everything, but my truck blew up, literally. Didn't have nothing else for him. Good driver. The last company he was with was a car hauler. So they was team partnering, okay? Parked in a safe location where they were supposed to park. They both stayed in a hotel overnight, separate rooms, don't be funny. But a hotel overnight, they come out, one of the cars on the car hauler was what? It was scratched real bad. They get in the truck, they proceed to go on about their business and delivering cars. And the owner was like, you know what, man, I am so sorry, but I'm going to need you to be off work 1 to 2 weeks. So
wait a minute.
So I can recoup this money. Basically, he couldn't afford to pay both of them he was able to run whatever. But the point of being is this guy got rent. He just had a baby. All of this. Good driver. Asks all the right questions. Everything. Just now before the live, when I was getting all my technical issues together, called to make sure he had the location he was supposed to go to. Just all of the things that you know for a driver that's going to be good. Okay, we all have experience and we know certain things. So a driver that's going to be good, these 2 companies lost him because of that. Because they didn't have their SHIT together. They didn't lose him because he was a messed up driver, or they lost him because literally, like Jerri said earlier, they did not have a contingency plan. If your business is a truck, why don't you have the opportunity to have more trucks on hand? How does that work? I don't get that. If our main business is computers, that means that we should have access to more than one computer because this is our business. We're not working for anybody. So and me and Jerri didn't even practice that. She started talking about that. That was the one today that I had 3 today. But that one right there, he had back-to-back companies when I had to ask why he left.
Yeah.
And all of this is during a pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
All of this.
And this, like, when you, like, it's a lot of people. So Kameel and I are talking to, and LaShawn as well, because we're talking to a lot of people that are entering this industry that are not drivers, that don't know the industry, barely even know the lingo of what a drive-in is, or what a reefer is, or DOT. Like, you have to do your research. I understand that you got some some money that you want to throw around, and we will gladly take your money, baby. However, you got to pay to play in this game. You got to pay to play in this trucking industry. And you have to have your ducks in a row. You have to have your contingency plan, your continuity plan. Look, whatever you want to call it. In corporate, we called it a continuity plan, because if this went down, we had to have this in place.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you go drop $50K for a situation, then you need to make sure that you got backups on backups on backups in place. Okay. So Tyrone said, what happened when a company throw you under the bus just because you resign from them? Now looky here. Have we seen that before? Many times. And I'm going to send you, Tyrone, a trucking lawyer that I've been working with. And
Yeah.
so when we talk, I'm going to reach out to you in the morning, first thing tomorrow morning, and give you that lawyer's information so that you can just, you can just start the conversation with them.
Yes.
Okay? Just start the conversation, because like we hear, and I'm not going to drop any names of any companies, but when I have a driver that is at like a particular company and I've got them a new job in place and they want to leave that company, I make sure that I tell them, okay, make sure you leave the truck here. Wherever they tell you to leave that truck, make sure you leave that truck right there. Make sure that you, they're going to try to give you another 10 load. They're going to look, if you're in Alabama or Atlanta, Georgia, they're going to have your ass in Washington State, in Oregon, Portland, Oregon, trying to deliver a load, because they don't want to get you back to where the truck needs to be dropped so that you can get to your new job and start your new life, because you done found a better opportunity. And that's okay that you don't find a better opportunity. It's not your fault. But when they go and they start putting stuff on your deck and they start, doing all this ticky-tacky shit, they didn't fire you for it. They should have fired you for it a long time ago if they was gonna put it on there, but they didn't. And so that happens. It's unfortunate, but it happens. And I know, Kameel, you got a whole ton of stories about situations like that.
I got a lot of years of stories about this, and I do want to be honest. I don't, unless a driver has been with a company for a long time, I don't advise drivers to give long,
like 2-week notices.
I don't advise.
This ain't their industry.
Because what happens is that allows somebody to get their panties in a bundle or bunch or whatever the saying is. And the next thing you know, your DAC messed up. Your verification is messed up. Your everything is messed up. This is a wonderful industry. However, next paragraph, this is one of the most dirtiest industries I have ever worked in.
All facts.
So we all would like to do the right thing, but I also know that doing the right thing is doing the right thing for your family. And there's reasons why when we ask the driver, okay, today is Tuesday, when is it that you want to start? And you say 2 weeks from now, not only do we think you're not going to show up, that's not as big of a deal. But
that's the first thing I think.
Right. That is, let's put it out there, because if you have some experience, you're going to know that that's not what you do in this industry. And the second thing is that I'm 8 times out of 10, I know they're going to put something on your deck that they didn't put on before then, but it's going to miraculously come on within that notice. Then let's say you do something real minor that wouldn't even normally do anything. You bump the dock, you scrape something real minor. I'm not talking about nothing big. I'm talking about the most minor thing ever, right? That's what they're going to terminate you for. Once they terminate you, majority of the companies are not going to be able to take you for a year, 18 months, or 24 months. I do not recommend, unless you've been with this company for quite a while, I don't recommend long notices. Don't. It's not that industry. So I know I'm gonna have inboxes because I took
Yes.
inboxes, but it is what it is. It's the truth of the matter. That's literally what happens is people's careers get messed up because somebody got their little panties in a bunch and they wasn't ready to be at the big daddy table. Those are facts. I just so much has happened in 2 days, it ain't even funny. I swear to goodness, it's like it gotta be June. It gotta be June. All the stuff that was slow and didn't happen in 2020 is slam dunking in February.
Miss LaShawn, how have you been have you been real busy? I know you had some deadlines that came up at the end of January. Were you able to knock them out? And anything else coming up?
Yeah, but let me just say something about what you all just said. My goddaughter just called me actually this earlier today and got fired. She's a truck driver. And
oh, wow.
What they fired her for, I'm just like, what? They said that somebody called in and said that she cut them off. And she said, well, first of all, you taking the word of somebody that called in. Second of all, you don't have any proof that I did that. And the cameras you have are on the front of the truck, not on the back of the truck. So we can't come to the conclusion of really what the deal is, but she did say she was going to talk to an attorney because she just didn't think that it was right for what they were doing. But she's already got some other avenues as far as getting another job already. I mean, literally, this happened earlier today because the sister, she bad. I mean, she was out there driving for FedEx, driving the doubles. All right. What happened to Jerri Vaughn?
In the country, bless it. I be two people, I'm okay.
I know.
I got 3 kids, I can be a lot of people.
I know. So that was interesting to me, and that you all are talking about this now, and that just happened to her earlier. But going back to Jerri Vaughn's question, deadlines were met. At least all my clients that had IFTA that needed to be reported, I got all of that done. Actually, Jerri Vaughn, one of your clients that you referred to me actually called me about doing one for him. Alan's Holding. I forgot his name. That's the name of his company. Alan Carter Holdings. You remember him?
Ed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. New York in the house. Hey, Ed.
New York in the house. Actually, yes.
Look,
yes.
Ed, so, when I say I love Ed because Ed does send me. So when I get some clients and they need some service, I'm gonna send them to you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
But Ed does send me. Look, all his homeboys up in New York just buying trucks, okay?
The entire Buffalo, New York.
It's one of the best Cosby games ever.
Wait, hold on, I'm on live, dude. I heard.
They hit a buzzer beater.
Oh, God. Look, it was an exciting game. I guess that I'd have missed y'all. This is the best game of the century in our town.
Wow. Yeah.
Everybody walking to the car. But Buffalo in the house, baby. Buffalo tearing my phone up. I see a 716, and I know it's Buffalo. Yeah, I'm glad he.
I'm gonna give Dad the keys.
Okay.
Yeah. And so you asked me about some other deadlines, and so the other deadline, like you have the partnership deadline that's coming up. So there's a partnership return that's on the 1065 that's due March 15th. And of course, we got taxes that's due April 15th, and I doubt that they're going to do an extension this year. So we got those deadlines coming up, and then we'll have some other things coming up after that because in July, the big trucks, it's going to be time for their 2290s.
Right.
You also have, and it is different in every state, so it could be a March 15th deadline or April 15th deadline, but you have your annual Secretary of State filings that you have to do, that you have to report your filings to the state every year. So those are the things that are coming up right now. And so, yeah, I've been busy. I've been busy. I just got a new client This week, actually, spoke with them last week, and they became a client this week. So I'm trying to get them through the process, and just had some other clients that needed me to do some things. So yeah, I'm busy. Tax season is here, so I'm busy with tax season and new clients. So yeah, I'm busy. I'm busy.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, that's a great problem to have. You know, freight it's mid-February coming. I mean, that's about Valentine's Day too, but okay. But mid-February is coming. Baby, freight is up there. We getting out here. We running, and our Amazon is getting to us. So February to Halloween,
Yeah.
these trucks are moving, and we are just so happy that it feels like it's going to be something different than it was in 2020, because 2020 was a twilight zone. I don't even know what was happening. From day to day, we were getting, no joke, literally, with the fact that Jerri and I recruit for over 60 companies, there was times when we would get 10 and 12 emails a day with different changes because of COVID. Like, literally, no, it was a lot. So now to go, and everything is ramping up and all of that type of stuff. So we work, I can't talk for Miss LaShawn, but Jerri, she in the country, so okay, there you go. But we work 7 days a week right now, and we work 7 days a week for mid-February to the end of October. And it's full, it's full days. We work a lot. Even when we are off work, if we see your text or call, we're definitely going to call you back. That's why Jerri and I always recommend you leave voicemails, because there's no way that we would be able to, once we get up and get to the office, where we're able to call back all of the missed calls.
Right.
Yeah, all of the missed calls. So y'all just make sure you're doing that. I know nobody want to leave messages and stuff like that, but when you call in a business, just, kind of keep that in mind, because I know, it's a change, because we're just used to picking up the cell phone, somebody don't answer, they hang up. So if you do, then make sure you text, because my number and Jerri's number are both where you can text us. Make sure you text. If you're not leaving a voicemail, make sure you text, so we are able to put you in rotation to call back.
Well, I'm not working 7 days a week, ladies, but I am working 6, and I do respond to texts, and I do respond to phone calls. So,
I work 7 right now.
Say that again, Kameel.
No, I was telling Jerri, I let everybody know right now we're working 7 days. Okay.
Right.
So even if we're not in the office, like on a Sunday, we still working. Because this Sunday we was on the phone for an hour, and not only our other stuff, but we was on the phone for an hour and a half with one of the company's recruiting supervisors, trying to really horn in on how things was going there. But what were you saying, Miss LaShawn? 6 days a week. Sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. That's how we do it on here. That's fine. Just 6 days a week, and with tax season coming, I'm sure that's going to pick up, and I'll probably be shooting for 7 days a week as soon as people start bringing me paperwork. So, yeah, I understand. And I'm like you. Leave it.
All right, y'all. I gotta go. I'm sorry. I gotta log off.
Okay. Bye. Now, what were you saying, Miss LaShawn?
Yeah, no problem. But with tax season coming, then I'll get real busy in the next month or so when everybody brings everything at the same time. So, yeah.
So we are gonna go ahead and close out. And with saying that, you can, I'm gonna speak for Jerri. Let me pull up her work number right quick. I don't want to give y'all her regular number. I might put her regular number out there, but pretend like I did. Let me see so I can get it. But anyway, it's Life on the Road Recruiting. So let's start there. It's Life on the Road Recruiting. She is on TikTok. She's on TikTok. She's on YouTube. She's on Facebook, and her and I both have a joint CDL group. Miss LaShawn is an admin in the group as well. So it's CDL Class A Jobs. So definitely follow her, subscribe, and then hit the little notification bell so you'll be able to on YouTube, so you'll be able to get all of anytime we pop on. Okay, and her and I definitely. We also do the midday lunch day, talking about jobs and things like that. If it is a topic we need to talk about, but typically we spend the time talking about jobs and we try to pick a state. Also, with me, Kameel, they call me Auntie Kameel. Just an inside joke, or you can call me Auntie Kameel. But I'm only a recruiter at Rig on Wheels, so I'm on TikTok. Just starting. But YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and business. And just like I told you, the same thing as Jerri, we have the group CDL Class A Jobs. So I'll let you.
Okay, and so of course I'm Miss LaShawn with We Are Business Solutions, and I am also on TikTok, Instagram, and just like you, Kameel, just getting started. I'm just getting started with YouTube. So like she said, go and subscribe to my page, hit that little bell so you can get my notifications when I'm sending out things. And for you all that don't know, I actually set up owner operators with their new authority. Make sure that your business is set up correctly, that you're in totally compliance when you get that, you're ready for the road. Yeah. That you also not only ready for the road with your first load, but we keep you in compliance throughout the year with your quarterly IFTA returns. And we also make sure that all your annual compliance is done. If you need a 2290, your UCR, we do your taxes. So we do everything to make sure that you're in total compliance and that you stay in total compliance.
Right. Okay. I'm going to find Jerri's number right quick.
That's what you want?
Yeah. The Life on the Road number.
I'm trying to see where I got it at. Let's see.
Because I don't think I put the girl regular number.
Okay, I got it, but it's not. Okay, why is it not giving it to me?
Today it just, okay, here it is, right here.
You got it?
Yep. It is 832-384-5689. 832-384-5689. It's her telephone number. You can call, leave a message, or text. Also, mine is 708-487-9064. 708-487-9064. So make sure you leave a message. And thanks, Sean. I see your note there. But make sure you leave a message or text. Okay? So we want y'all to have a safe week. But Jerri and I'll see you tomorrow around noon-ish. It's Jerri's time. No, I think it's my time tomorrow to do the streaming. It all go together because we stream so much during the day. We're going to see us tomorrow. God bless. Be safe. And wear your mask. Okay?
I know, right?
Yes, please do. Have a great evening, guys.